Today, we're jumping into a story that's thousands of years old, but its echoes, you can still hear them today. We're talking about the patriarchs, and this almost unbelievable idea that a single family's story could be the bedrock for three of the world's biggest religions. So let's just start with this huge question. What if the entire history of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all trace back to the choices and struggles of just one family? I mean, it sounds like the plot of an epic movie, right? Well, it kind of is. Okay, so before we dive deep, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Who exactly are we talking about when we say the patriarchs? Now, the word patriarch literally just means the male head of a family, simple enough. But in this story, it's so much bigger than that. These guys aren't just dads or tribal chiefs. They're seen as the physical and spiritual ancestors of an entire nation. Their whole story revolves around a covenant, a sacred, binding promise with God. And honestly, that idea is the foundation for everything that comes next. And that story, that whole grand narrative, kicks off with one man taking an absolutely massive leap of faith. His name is Abraham. So just look at this journey. It's a life defined by trusting something you can't see. Abraham starts out in Ur. We're talking a major city in ancient Mesopotamia. And he gets this call to leave, well, everything. His home, his family, his culture, to go to some land he's never even heard of. He actually does it, travels to Canaan, and that's where the deal is struck. This divine promise of land and descendants. And finally, in Hebron, that impossible promise starts to become real with the birth of his son, Isaac. And this, right here, this is the heart of that promise. This wasn't just some personal blessing for Abraham. The scope was huge. It was global. I will make of you a great nation, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. That one line just sets the stage for a story with massive worldwide implications. So let's go to the next generation. After this incredibly dramatic start with Abraham, we get to his son, Isaac. And his role is so important. He is the unbroken chain. I think this chart just lays it out perfectly. You've got Abraham, the pioneer, who takes that crazy leap of faith. Then you have his grandson, Jacob, who we'll get to, the wrestler. His life is full of drama and change. But Isaac is the bridge. His story isn't as flashy maybe, but his role is absolutely essential. He's all about continuity. He had to keep that promise alive. And you can think of it like this. Isaac's life was the most important baton pass in history. Seriously. Without him, that amazing promise made to Abraham just becomes a cool one-generation story that fizzles out. Isaac is the guy who makes sure the covenant actually has a future. And that future arrives with a bang with Isaac's son, Jacob. He's a really complex character who struggles, who changes, and who, in the end, becomes the father of a nation. Jacob's life is just this incredible character arc. I mean, look at these steps. He starts out as the deceiver, tricking his twin brother Esau out of his inheritance. That forces him to run for his life, and that's when his real journey of transformation begins. It all leads to this wild story where he wrestles all night with some kind of divine being, and he wins. And through that struggle, he gets a new name, a new identity, and becomes the father of the 12 sons who will form the nation. And that new name, wow, it's so significant. Israel. It literally means one who struggles with God. I want you to just think about that for a second. The name of the entire nation, the name of its founding father, isn't about being a passive follower. It's about engagement, about wrestling with the divine, about struggle. It kind of suggests that questioning and struggling aren't a lack of faith, but a core part of it. It's his struggle that forges an identity. So we've had the pioneer, the bridge, and the wrestler. Let's pull all those threads together and just look at the unbelievable living legacy these three men left behind. It all builds to this number, 12, for Jacob's 12 sons. They weren't just kids. They were the future. Each one became the head of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. A family right then and there officially became the blueprint for a nation. And their total impact is just, it's hard to wrap your head around. I mean, think about what this one family's story put into motion. In a world full of gods, they champion the radical idea of just one God. They set up that spiritual contract, that covenant we've been talking about. They created this deep ancestral link to a specific place, the Promised Land, that still sparks passion today. And maybe the most profound thing of all, these three men became the shared spiritual ancestors for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Which brings us right back to where we started. It's an ancient story. It's full of desert journeys and family drama and divine encounters. But it leaves us with this really powerful question for our own time. How is it possible that the choices, the faith, and the struggles of one family from almost 4,000 years ago are still shaping the beliefs, the borders, and the identities of our world today?